Hi, everybody. Welcome to. I'm literally shaking the desk. I'm sorry. Welcome to episode 2 of Just Be Normal. I'm so excited. I'm stoked. Thank you so much to everyone who has already, told me, in person or, over text or, Instagram or TikTok, I'm so excited or, I listened to it. I'm so excited to be doing this, and I'm so glad that other people are, oh my gosh, I'm gonna put my leg down because I'm shaking the whole desk. The other people are excited about this as well because that's so exciting. That I'm so excited. So I forget if I said this before, but I do kind of want to start out with smaller, more broad topics that I'm really interested in, and then kind of narrow it down further to more personal things. So um for this one, I really want to jump in and talk about manifesting and dreaming because I'm very passionate about these two topics, and I love hearing other people's opinions on it, and I love telling people my opinion on it because I think it's just such a unique experience or thing to do. Also, nails painted. Let's go. Um but before we start, I just need to give a little update on me because, you know, first of all, I am so excited to see this Wicked movie when it comes out. I am so excited. I've never seen the musical. I think I tried to watch it once on some illegal movie website. It was one of the slime tutorials. It was a slime tutorial for Wicked, and I think I watched not even half of it, and it was really late at night, and I was like, "Oh, whatever." But I'm so excited to see it. I'm obsessed with it, but I haven't seen it ever. And it's like when my aunt is a Broadway fanatic, and she always listens to the Broadway radio in her car. So whenever I was little and I ride in her car with her, she would always have the Broadway radio on, and she also had CDs of literally every single Broadway show you could ever think of from the time Broadway started. She's the fan. I love her so much. But she had the Wicked CD, and so I think a Wicked song came on the radio once when I was 8 or 9, and I was like, "What is this?" And she was like, "Oh, I have the CD." So she put the CD in, and I listened to all of it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh." And so then every time I got in her car, whenever we were together, I would be like, "Can we play the Wicked CD?" And I was so obsessed with it. I was so obsessed with it. And I'm gonna see this movie with her. She lives in Chicago, but she's coming down to Texas for my Thanksgiving break, which is when the movie's coming out. So we're gonna go see it together, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Also, Jonathan Bailey. Can we speak on it? Can we speak on it? Jonathan Bailey. I love him in Bridgerton so much. I didn't know he was a singer dancer, and literally F all those comments that are y'all didn't know he was a singer dancer. I'm sorry I'm not as cool and popular as you, okay? I didn't know Jonathan Bailey could sing and dance. But man, can he. I literally every other video on my For You page is dancing through life. Yes. I love it so much. It's stuck in my head. I love it so I'm so excited. Like I know I'm gonna have such a little girl crush on him. I 100% would probably never date a man, but that man, I would. And what a coincidence that he's gay. What a coincidence. Anyway, my other thing, I just watched the first 2 episodes of Heartstopper season 3. I didn't watch it when they came out because I've been watching Gilmore Girls, and I'm like, oh, I'll just stick with that. And then on TikTok, I saw someone who was like, season 3 of Heartstopper is not for the weak. And I was kind of like, well, no shit, dude. Because I read the comics when they came out, and I was like, no shit, this is eating disorder season. Also, trigger warning. Sorry. Um, and yeah, I watched the first 2 episodes, and it really just dives right into how are they gonna, this is a Heartstopper spoiler, by the way. It really just dives right into how are we gonna deal with Charlie's eating disorder? Is Charlie going to accept he has an eating disorder? Nick is bearing the weight of feeling like he can't help Charlie with an eating disorder, and I was getting war flashbacks as someone who has had an eating disorder in the past and also dated someone who had an eating disorder. It's just they play it so vulnerably, if I'm saying that correctly, and realistically, and it's so interesting to watch, but it's so good. And yeah, it is not for the weak at all. Like I watched the first 2 episodes, and now after I film this and like edit it and all that, like I'm gonna have to watch like 5 episodes of like Dairy Girls to like get myself like out of the gutter. But it's so good, and I'm so excited to watch all of it. I love Heartstopper. Whenever the first season came out, I would just rewatch it and rewatch it and rewatch it, and then same thing when the second season came out, rewatch it, rewatch it, rewatch it. But you know, the second season does get like a little bit more emotional, you know, because it's diving more into like the actual relationships happening and then relationship problems in the teenage years, and then it jumps right onto the nose of Charlie's eating disorder, and then it ends season 2. And I believe that's also whenever Darcy, is Darcy comes out to her family, and the season ends with her getting kicked out, I believe. Again, Heartstopper spoilers, as I said earlier, so don't flame me if I just ruined that for you, because I told you earlier that there were Heartstopper spoilers. Okay? Okay. I'm ready for season 3, but also season 1 is arguably the best season because it's just so sweet and innocent and lighthearted, and I love it so much. And I love gay people, okay? Alright. I have okay. I have my journal right in front of me and everything written down, so I'm like, if I look down, that's what I'm doing. Because I can't remember everything I want to talk about. Also, I don't know how professional podcasters do it. Do you write things down, or do you just like place them all in your brain and just remember it? Oh. Also, I hope my phone doesn't die while I'm filming this. It's at like 40%, so yay. Okay. Manifesting. Now, this is gonna dive a little bit into like my religious lore. Um, Growing up, my parents were married, and we went to the Christian church, all of us, and I just kind of grew up believing that, doing that, all those things. I'm not gonna get too much into it because that's not what I want to be talking about, but I was really, really full on like Christian into it until the 7th grade, until I came out. That's when I first, realized that I was not a straight girl, and I came out, and I was in this like small like youth group at the church, and I told one of the group leaders who I really like loved and trusted, and I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm not straight." And she was like, "Oh my God, can I pray for you?" And I was like, "What?" I was like 12, okay? But also keep in mind I was 12. So, also totally understand why an adult was probably like, "You're 12." Like, but anyway, so yeah, I was very into that, and then COVID hit, and COVID hit right at the end of my 7th grade year anyway, so we stopped going to church, and it gave me a lot of time to think about, like, what do I really believe in, religiously wise, and this is not an invitation for you to leave your religious comments at all. This is an invitation for you to listen. I don't know. um, but yeah, I really got to thinking because then I was on the side of TikTok where everyone was like, ooh, crystals, ooh, magic. And I was like, this is kind of weird, but also like, what does this mean? And so I like would watch all the videos and I'd be like, wow. And so, also, disclaimer, this podcast is only going to be on YouTube for now because I cannot for the life of me figure out Spotify. So, but now, look, I literally have all my crystals, all of them. I was a crystal girly. I don't really have them out anymore, but I could just keep going. There's so many. But I was like I was a hardcore crystal girly. Okay, I got a bunch for Christmas when I was in 8th grade, and I had like the necklaces where I'd wear like crystal pendants, and that was arguably the best era of my life because I swear, in my opinion, those crystals work. If you don't agree with me, that's okay. Just don't say it, you know? Um, but yeah, and another thing that came along with that was manifesting. Because all these little crystal girlies were like, are you manifesting? If you're not manifesting, you're not a real crystal girl. And I was like, I want to be a real crystal girl. So I would search up, like, what is manifesting? What does manifesting do? Blah, 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 blah. And I didn't really get into it until my freshman year, maybe the summer before my freshman year, but I definitely remember manifesting my freshman year. Because okay, this is actually weird. The fact that people who I know but don't know can watch this and probably will is so weird because I'm used to speaking to like the 6 people on my private story who I've known and are just like, yeah, man, like whenever a video comes out, but like with this, it's like real people with real opinions who are like, you're talking about me right now. And I'm like, but yeah, I will not name drop on here unless I like you. But again, stick around for my little graduation episode. No spoilers for what it is. Okay, but I really got into manifesting in the 9th grade because I liked somebody and I liked them a lot. And I was like, how do I get this girl to like me and talk to me? And of course, I couldn't be normal and actually have a conversation with this girl. I had to go on TikTok and be like, how to get your crush to like you back. And since I was on Crystal Talk, that's what I'm calling it, all these manifesting videos popped up where they were like, write down your crush's name 4 times and then fold it and spray your perfume on it and put it under your pillow and they'll want to date you within a week. So I was like, done deal. Done deal. And I would grab a piece of paper, I'd like write her name like 5 times and I'd fold it towards me and then I put it under my pillow, spray it with perfume, whatever, go to sleep. I'd be like, oh, we're gonna date. Spoiler alert, we did date. And we dated for a couple months. But I had manifested it and I don't want it to sound like it happened because I manifested it, but after I started manifesting it, we ended up being partners on a project in a class we had together. We talked more. I got her number, her Snapchat, her Instagram, all those things, and it slowly went down. And as we were talking, I was manifesting like I hope we date, I hope we date. I was also a little freshman, so I was like I had like a big like girl crush on her. And I don't say girl crush lightly. I am gay, thank you. Um, but so yeah, that was the first time I manifested something I want to say. And then after that, I was like, oh shoot, like maybe it works. Like maybe this is really something I need to like look into. So I would manifest money. Manifesting money is a big thing. Um and I'd write down like I will have $20 and then randomly my dad would be like, here's $20 and I'd be like, whoa. So to me, manifesting is just having the intention to get something or do something and you're just making it official. And there's many ways to do it. Like I would write things down. I would write down, like I have $20. I am dating this person. I am friends with this person. I have a 100 in my math class, things like that. And then what you do with it after that, up to you. There are ways like, you could fold it, put it under your pillow, your bed. Um, oh my gosh, I would burn paper and my mom wanted to kill me because it made the whole house smell like shit. But I would write down like I am manifesting this. I am manifesting this like 4 times, fold it towards me, and then I would grab like a candle container like this one, and I grab my lighter and I'd like light it like over the candle like thing, and then it would like disintegrate in there, and I'd be like, my manifestations are coming to me. As my mom's like texting me on my phone, she's like, what the F is stinking up the house? I'm like, oh my god. But burning it is a way. Do it outside. Burn it outside. Don't burn it in your house, please. I actually, oh my gosh, I set fire to my carpet once. I forgot about that until right now. I was burning something. Oh my god. This is like an embarrassing story. I don't know when this was, but I remember it. I was like burning a piece of paper over like a candle thing, and then the paper like it got out of control or something and it started like smoking. And so I dropped it, and all my floors are carpeted in this house and in my dad's house. And this was at my dad's house. And I dropped it on the floor and I started like patting on it to like put it out. Sorry, there's like a hair from my sweater on my face. And I started like patting it to put it out. And then it was just like a ring of like flames in the carpet. And so as I'm like, and I had a cup of water in my room coincidentally, and thank God I did, and I dumped it on there, and then like the smoke alarm. Dad, if you see this, I'm sorry. Um, but then the smoke alarm started going off, and it's like 9 p.m. at night when I'm doing this, and so I quickly like shut off all my lights, I spray perfume all over my room, and I jump in bed, and I at my dad's house, the smoke alarm is like right outside my bedroom, and so like I hear him come over and like start to like poke at the smoke alarm, and then I come out of my room and I'm like, what's happening? Like, don't burn paper in your house, near a carpet, in your bedroom, any of it. Don't do it. Go outside. Go outside. Go outside. Go outside. Do it. And do it safely outside, okay? Do it over a fire pit. Don't do it over like wet grass, dry grass, whatever. Don't. Don't, okay? It's so stupid. Don't do it. But anyway, yeah, you can burn a paper that you're manifesting things on. And there's many other methods besides manifesting, there's like the method where you like drink water. Like, oh my gosh. If you know, you know. But you would pretend this is a cup. You would take, I have a cup like all the way back there, but I don't want to go get it. You take a cup and you're like, I will have $100 next week. And then you like drink your water and you're like absorbing that into your body. It's just putting the intention of something into another action in the hopes that you will then have that thing. There's another method that I can't talk about on YouTube, but if you know what that method is, then you know what that method is. But I'm not gonna say it. um and I forgot to put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so now it's like buzzing. Is there a way to pause this? I don't think there is. Can I do my Do Not Disturb? Oh my gosh, okay, and it didn't stop the video. Let's go. So yeah, I would manifest all kinds of stuff, my freshman year, and then, we broke up, and then, oh my goodness, let me tell you, okay, so I'm not going to name drop because I fear this person, okay, but me and the girl I was talking about broke up, and then a few months later, I saw this other girl who I was like, she's kind of cute, like, I kind of like her, and so I started manifesting her. Like, I DM'd her on Instagram, we started talking, and I did the same thing. I'd write down, like, we are going to date. We are going to date. She wants me so bad. And I'd burn it, and I'd put it under my pillow. Not after burning it, but, like, separately, like, I'd write it, and I'd burn it, and then I'd write it, and I put it under my pillow, but, and also, like, there's another thing you do where it's, like, you write it down, you fold it, and then you put a crystal on top of it. I keep shaking the desk. I'm so sorry, okay? I'm done touching the desk now. But you put a crystal on it in hopes that it, like, works. So yeah, I was doing that, and then we started dating, and we dated for 11 months. 11 months. So not a year, but 11 months. And I'm convinced that we stayed together that long because I had manifested it. And I know that might sound a little crazy, and it might not be true at all because a lot of factors play into things besides manifesting someone or something. And again, if you don't believe in this concept at all, totally fine. I'm not in any way saying that you should believe in this or this is the right thing to believe. I'm just saying this is something that I have believed in, and now I'm sharing. Just to keep it all light and fun and friendly. But we were together for a while, and I do kind of believe part of that was because I manifested it. And because, like, we were not a great couple at all. And, that comes from both sides, but it's okay. It's not, that's for another segment on here. But, yeah, I would always manifest, like, we are going to make up, we are going to work out, we are going to stay together. And we'd stay together and things would work out. And then, we'd get into another fight and I'd be like, to myself and be like, can you stop manifesting this? Like, I hate it here. Like, um, so I've manifested a lot in my love life. You know, whether it's like dating people or opportunities or things like that. Um, Another thing I've used manifesting with is theater. I'm in theater, and I do manifesting with shows. More so the shows I care about. Not like every single show where I'm like, I will get a good role, you know? Because, like, really, it's not. Okay, don't drag me anyone in high school theater, but it's not that serious to me, okay? I'm in it for the fun. I'm not in it for the role, if that makes sense, you know? Like, I'm going to enjoy whatever show we're doing either way. So, you know. But there have been two times specifically where I have used a manifesting method to be like, you know, like, I hope I get this role. I hope I am considered for this role. I hope this works out for me. You know, all that. And I've never seen myself as like an obsessive person with theater where it's like, I have to be this, I have to do that, I have to get this role, blah 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 blah. It's more just like this is something in my line of like, I don't know, my line of want. I don't know. So I have, you know, manifested a little bit with that to be like, you know, like this show will be fun, this show will be, you know, cool. I will make friends during the show, you know. And leading from there, friends in theater, I I hope she's watching this. And I have this like she's my best friend now. But I have this friend who I saw her. She did tech for the big musical we did last year. It was Mean Girls, and she did tech, and I would see her around, and I didn't really know her, but anytime I saw her or like interacted with her or saw her like interacting with my friends, I'd be like, she's really cool. Like I want to talk to her. And right after I kind of decided like, oh, I really want to be friends with her, she knows I did this, but I manifested it. I was like, we will be friends, we will talk, blah, 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 whatever. And like, cross my fingers, like, hope it happens because I thought she was so cool. And we went on this theater trip. We go to ThesFest. If you don't know what ThesFest is, it's basically this really big, like, pride convention. Just kidding. Um, it's this big theater convention where, you take your thespian troupe. If you don't know what a thespian is, Google it. I'm not telling you. But you take your that was a really annoying laugh. I'm sorry. Okay. You take your thespian troupe and you go to ThesFest and you basically um just take different little like acting or tech classes there. There's ones for like design, movement, singing, acting, dancing, improv, um, light design, set design, costume design, stage managing, directing, all those things. You know, it's all there. And you go and you have fun and you do the things and you can watch performances. Last year we performed with Mean Girls at BuzzFest, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah, anyway, we were all going on this trip and we got to the hotel and all of a sudden our rooming assignments were like changing because of me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to the people who went to ThesFest and were like, why is this happening? It was because of me. Truth is out. Sorry. But yeah, our rooming assignments were changing and so I switched from my original group to a different group who like I knew all the girls and it was great. I loved it. We get up to our room. There were five of us. One of them starts decorating. We're all getting our stuff out. All of a sudden, my theater director reaches out to me on Remind, which is just a way for teachers to contact students in a safe and legal way that is an email. Um, and it's like, hey, come down to room whatever. It's the room they were staying in. We need to talk. And I went down there, and my director was like, we need you to pick a different group to room with. And I was like, what? Why? And she's like, we just need you to. And I was like, okay. So she gave me like options and I was like, oh, I'll room with these people. And the girl I really wanted to be friends with was in that group of people. And I was like, okay, like this is like fate working out for me. So anyway, we tell them that we're switching rooms it's a whole hassle, but then I get into the room with them, like the new group, and immediately there's 2 beds and there were 5 of us. And so we had one air mattress and then 2 people were gonna sleep in each bed, and I was like, "Oh, do you want to share the bed with me? Girl I really want to be friends with." And she was like, "Sure." And we became like best friends on that trip. We became so close and we're still best friends. I hang out with her as much as I can with as much free time as I have, and it's just I love her so much. She's so great. You know, like the platonic soulmate saying, and she's definitely one of mine. And I love her so much. And I manifested that friendship so hard. And I know you know who you are. So that's another thing I manifested, and another reason I kind of believe that manifesting works for me. Um, I'm looking at my notes I have here. Manifesting, I think, is another way to control the energy around you. To me, I believe you sort of manifest everything in your life, and it kind of goes with the saying, like, it's like, I don't know how to word it. It's like the energy you give will come back to you. If you are negative to someone, maybe that person won't be negative back to you, but someone else will then be negative to you, and it's like, oh, this is like karma. And karma is another subject for another time, okay? I'm not going to dive into that one. But it's like everything you give out will come back to you, which is like an example. I went to work on Saturday and I was late to work by like 10-20 minutes. And then I got there and I just felt weird and I was like, I'm so sorry and all this. And then I was like, where is everyone? And my manager was like, oh, this person says they're gonna be late. This person says they're gonna be late. This person is late, but they didn't call me. And I was just like, whoa, whoa. And then the next day when I was at work, I got there on time and I felt really good. I got like great sleep the night before, and I was feeling so like good about the day and the energy and all that. And then, everyone else was showing up on time and they were like, "Oh, I feel really good today." And then by the end of the day, I was like, I don't feel like tired or overwhelmed at all. Because I work at a restaurant, and so sometimes it can get really busy and it can get really like overwhelming and such. And all the servers were like, "Yeah, I don't really feel like burnt out either." And I'm like, wow, like, I don't know, like, what you put out into the world is what you're going to get back somehow, some way. And in a way, I feel kind of like that's manifesting. You're manifesting. Manifesting is not just specifically manifesting something, it can also just be manifesting. Like, I don't know. Um, it can be so much more than that. And I also want to talk about how I think that manifesting is so similar to praying. And you can disagree, but hear me out. People who like pray to a god or something like that, a deity, whatever you do, all respect here. Um, you're kind of praying like from someone who has prayed to a god before or God. Um, you're like, please, like if one of your family members or your friends is sick, you're like, please watch over this person, help them recover. Please let me get this job opportunity. Please let my situation work out, and you're praying to whomever, and you're like, please, watch over me and be there for me. And so I think manifesting is kind of the same way, where maybe you're asking the universe around you, like, please let this situation work out for me, in the same way you would be asking or praying to God or someone, please let the situation work out for me. And it's just directing that want into a different source. And I could go on forever about religion and the different religions and the concept of religion and all that, but that would send me down such a spiral, and I think it would send you down one too, so. Um, alright, we'll jump into my next little thing. If you're getting bored by this point, bye. I don't know. Just kidding. Okay. My next one I want to get into is dreaming, because I have been having such weird dreams lately, and I have sort of talked about this before with like friends, family, I talk about dreams so much. I track my dreams when I can. Every morning when I wake up and I remember anything I've dreamed about, I immediately open Snapchat and I take a picture of like the wall or my ceiling and I type out like dream. And then I make a new block of text and I'm like, in my dream, blah 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 blah. And I'll just save it and I won't post it and it's for me. But it helps me keep track of things and also like throughout the day then when I like see something or do something, I'm like, oh my gosh, like this made me remember something else in my dream. Like, I don't know, does anyone else have that? I don't know. But yeah. So I'll start with asking, do dreams really mean something? Cause this goes back lots and lots and lots of years of people thinking that dreams mean something. You know, people would have dreams and they'd be like, oh, this is a bad omen. Or they'd have dreams and they'd be like, oh, this is a really good sign. You know, you'd see something in a dream. And there are books for symbolism on dreams where it's like, if you see this in a dream, what does it mean? And I was one of those people where I would have like a crazy intense dream about like a person or a situation, or I would specifically remember seeing a certain like animal or bug or plant or like, you know, something specific like that. And I wake up in the morning and I'd search like, what does it mean if you see a wolf in your dream? Or like, what does it mean if you're riding a bike in your dream? And you know, there's like thousands of different explanations on the internet for things like that. And you know, I feel like every book you read about dream symbolism is gonna say something different. Like, you know, if I'm like, oh, what does riding a bike in my dream mean? One website is going to be like, it means you should go on an adventure. Another website is going to be like, it means you should let go of something. And then a book is going to be like, it means that something from your childhood is coming. You know, like it's going to have like 1,000 different meanings and 1,000 different things. So at the end of the day, when asked, do dreams mean something? I think yes, but the meaning is so personal to you that I don't think you can Google it. You know, like hear me out. You know, you again with the bike example, like what does it mean if you saw a bike in your dream and then you Google it and again a website is like it means that something from your childhood is coming back. Maybe you look at that and you're like, "Oh my gosh, this makes so much sense because I was just talking to like my childhood best friend yesterday randomly." But maybe you see something from your childhood is coming back and you're like, "This makes no effing sense, dude." But then you see like it means you need to let go of something and you're like, "Oh, I need to quit my job. Like, I need to do what I've been meaning to do, you know? Like, I think it's so personal to you. You can't just go out there and pick a random thing or like the first meaning you see and be like, yeah, this is it. Like, you know? But also, in my, I don't want to say dreams aren't that deep, but I think they're not as deep as some people make them out to be. You know, dreams don't dictate your life, but it is your subconscious in a form maybe showing you or telling you something personal about yourself that you're not realizing. Like, an example, is whenever I I was best friends with someone last year, and I would have dreams about her a lot, and it was weird. Like, she would be in every single dream that I had, and I would track these dreams. And I remember one specifically where it was like we were we were at my house and then we started hugging, and like she started crying and was like, I feel like I can't talk to you. I feel like I can't text you. I feel like I can't reach out to you, blah, 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 blah. And this was all in the dream. And I was like, oh, it's okay. I'm always here for you. Like, what do you mean you feel like you can't talk to me? Anyway, that's all I really remember from that dream. And I woke up in the morning. And of course, my initial thought was like, oh, is this how she really feels about me? Like, damn, I don't, damn ho, like, but you know, I didn't tell her like, oh my god, you were crying in my dream last night, and you said that you were like, you know, you missed me so much and felt like you can't talk to me. You know, I didn't say that. I'm not gonna freak someone out like that. But you know, I guess it depends on the relationship. Because some of my friends, I'm like, dude, you were butt naked in my dream last night. You know, but that just wasn't the kind of friendship we had. Um, but you know, then you come to find out like maybe initially it doesn't mean what you thought it meant. And I do realize now that everything she was saying to me is how I felt about her, you know, in my dream. because I look back and I'm like, I felt like I couldn't talk to her or reach out or do anything about that, you know? And of course, like, in the slim chance you are seeing this, and I think you would know who you are, no hard feelings or anything like that at all. But, you know, it was like, this is how I felt about her, and my subconscious was showing me in a way that I wanted to see it, you know? I do take dreams pretty personally when they happen, and I think they might mean something, not exactly mean something as like, this is going to happen in my life, or I should be expecting this, but more as like, what am I trying to tell myself? But then sometimes you have those really stupid dreams where it's literally just your brain deconstructing your entire life in the span of like 7 seconds. I I don't know how long dreams technically last. I think there's like a thing where it's like everyone has 2 to 4 dreams each night, but you don't remember all of them or any of them sometimes, but you always dream. And that's so weird to me, you know? So I'll stop rambling about that specific portion because I'm just gonna like keep repeating myself. So anyway, I'll talk a little bit more about seeing people that you know in your dreams. So my sophomore year, I kind of thought this girl was cute who I went to school with, and I had known her before in like middle school, and then she like disappeared off the face of the earth and I like didn't see her ever again. She was like a grade above me, you know? So like she went to high school and I still had to do like 8th grade. And then my freshman year I didn't see her, but then my sophomore year we had a class together. And you know, I saw her and I was like, "Oh, she's still kind of like she's okay." But then I would have dreams about her. Like she would be in my dreams and we would be like hanging out or talking or I'd be running from her or she'd be like, you know, telling me something really important. And every day I would wake up and I'd be like, what does this mean? And I drove myself insane over this a little bit because I was having so many dreams about her. I was tracking all of them. I can probably find them. But you know, every day I was like, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? And it was like freaking me out. And then I kind of like got over that crush, you know, moved on. And then she wasn't in my dreams anymore. So, is it maybe that sometimes when you think about something so much, or subconsciously it's in the back of your mind, you then see it in your dreams? You know, like emotions or things you don't want to face have a way of coming out, and do they come out and confront you in your dreams? I don't know. I'm wondering. Um, Same thing with the best friend from before. Whenever we were friends, we would, I would have dreams with her in them a lot. And then after we were friends, yeah, I would still dream about her a lot. She'd be in a lot of dreams of mine, and in the dreams she would still like be my best friend, and it was kind of hurtful, you know, initially, cuz you know, it's hard to like lose a best friend like that or a friend in general that you care about. And so then like you see them in your dreams and you're still interacting normally with each other, and then you wake up and you're like, damn, like what does my subconscious have against me? Um, but I would have dreams about her. She still does appear in my dreams sometimes and it scares me, but it's only when I think about her. You know, sometimes I see something and I'm like, oh, she would have loved that. Oh, she would have thought that was funny. You know, and then I'm like, oh shoot, like I don't want to think about her. And then I'll go to sleep that night and she'll be in my dream and we'll be like friends in my dream and hanging out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what the heck? And so that I've kind of just accepted as like, you know, she's somewhere in my subconscious. She may always be somewhere in my subconscious. And my subconscious is going to bring that forward in my dreams. And it may suck, and that is okay, but you know, it's at a point where it's like seeing that in my dreams doesn't really hurt me anymore. It's just like, okay, man. And I don't really try to dissect that. Another one that was kind of like weird and like hard for me was whenever mentioning my ex from my sophomore year, um whenever we had a really on-off relationship. Okay, we're not going to talk about it. That again, that's for another video. But anytime we were not together, she would always be in my dreams and it would freak me out. Like it would freak me out so bad because in my dreams we'd still be like interacting, or you know, we'd be like really like emotional or things like that, and I'd be like, oh my god, what is this? And then we broke up. Like, we broke up. And it was a good thing. But we broke up, and for months on end after we broke up, I would have dreams about her. They would be scary, they would be weird, they would be insane. It would just, I would have so many dreams about her. And part of it is like, getting over it, all that. But still, I will randomly have dreams about her sometimes, even when I don't think about her or really acknowledge her. And again, it might just be because she's, somewhere in my subconscious, and that's not okay, but alright. Um, yeah, but I still kind of have dreams about her sometimes, so. And again, that's one that I don't really try to dissect. I I don't dissect, like, what does it mean to have a dream about your ex? It's more like what they're doing in my dream, where it's like, what does it mean if someone in your dream is, like, helping you fix your car or something like that? Because I actually had a dream that my tire shredded last night and my dad had to fix it. Um, but yeah. Oh my gosh. And then when you have a weird dream like that and it just throws off the whole vibe, like it throws off your whole day, and it kind of just like that happened to me, I want to say 2 weeks ago. I had a dream about my ex, and then I woke up and I just felt weird, and I was doing my makeup and I felt weird, and I went to school and I felt weird, and everything was weird, and I was being rude to everyone, and I was like, and it's just like, it's such a weird excuse to be like, sorry, I had a bad dream last night. Like, girl, what? Yeah, to just be like, oh, I had a weird dream last night. That's why I'm in a bad mood. Like, what does that even mean? But does it not throw you off when you see someone you completely effing despise in your dreams? You're like, why are you here? Like, go away. Or you have a dream with a weird situation in it, It's like, I don't know, like I had a dream last night that my mom and like my stepdad were like hanging out, and like, I don't know, lore drop. I don't really care for my stepdad. And then I like woke up this morning and I was like, great. Like, great. Now I'm thinking about him, like, and it's just like, it throws off the vibe. Um And then, yeah, again, the symbolism and all that. And choosing whether or not you believe in dreams is kind of something not great that I do. If I have a really good dream, or I see something good in my dream, or someone like I like in my dream, I'm like, oh, this means that they're thinking about me. This means something good, blah, 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 blah. But then when I have a bad dream about someone, I'm like, this means nothing, just ignore it. Like, and it's bad because it's like, this is probably, again, like my subconscious trying to tell me something that I'm like suppressing or ignoring. So I don't know. I guess this is my PSA to dream track, and if you don't do that, I don't know. And then, on top of that is lucid dreaming, which I have recently been doing. And I don't do it every night. I don't do it often. I don't do it on purpose, okay? I don't. Um, Sometimes before I go to sleep, when I'm really like, wound up or something, I do my like inhale for 8, hold for 6, exhale for 8, things like that, to just kind of get myself like aware of my falling asleep. I don't know. It's just to get me to like, shut the F up. Um, but when I do those methods or things like that, I lucid dream, because as I'm falling asleep, I'm aware of my body and what's happening. So then I have more realistic dreams, or dreams where I'm making choices or doing something. And I am a little nervous to say lucid dream, because I've never had a lucid enough dream where I'm like, I have a conscious, like, remembering of touching something or talking to someone, or, well, I'll take out the talking to someone part. I don't have memories of, like, touching something, or, doing anything drastic or making crazy decisions. But, I remember, like, having conversations, or, answering questions or something like that. But I've never had, like, I see people who lucid dream on TikTok who are like, when you're having a lucid dream, never tell the people you're dreaming. But I'm never lucid enough in the dream to know that I'm dreaming. It's more just dreams that I'm like extra aware of, and I don't know if I can call that lucid dreaming, you know? Like, I'll wake up in the morning and I'll be like, I feel like that really just happened to me. Or, like, in the dream while I'm doing something, it's like life or death, like, I have to do this, and it feels real to me, you know? But I've never had a dream where I'm, like, freaked out and I'm like, I'm dreaming and nobody knows. Like, you know, I've never had that. Um, yeah, I don't know. Lucid dreaming. And I'm way too terrified to attempt to lucid dream. There are tons of lucid dreaming like methods online or on TikTok or on Reddit or Tumblr, and it freaks me out too much, dude. Like the amount of people who are like, this gave me sleep paralysis. I don't want that. I don't want having sleep paralysis, dude. I just, you know, like I don't want to run the risk. Like it's scary. Um so yeah, but lucid dreaming I find to be very weird, you know? Like, how does your brain do that? How do you do that? Like, and not in a question of like, how do you do that? Just like, how does that happen? Why does that happen, you know? Um, but yeah, I think I hit on everything I wanted to hit. And yeah, this is my actual first episode. I'm sorry if the little trailer that was only 8 minutes long got you guys thinking that all the episodes are gonna be 8 minutes long. No. But yeah, I'll probably just try to hit on like one to two, maybe three topics that I've been thinking about and that are kind of similar. Um but yeah, I'm so excited to push this one out and see if I get any responses to it or comments or things like that. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this made you think. I hope this made you, I don't know, excited. But yeah. Yeah, thank you so much for listening, and yes, have a great day, evening, afternoon, night, whenever you're watching this. Okay, bye.